Good evening, this is Angie. It is Monday, March 30th, and this is our evening COVID-19 update. We will get started right off the bat with an update in the number of cases locally. In the state of Florida, we saw an increase from last evening at 6 p.m. of 754 cases, bringing us to a total in the state of Florida at 5,704 cases, which is considerable. Osceola County is now at 94 cases, while Orange County, our neighboring county, unfortunately hit a milestone today of their 300th case. Of most concern, we are seeing an increase in the number of deaths related to COVID-19 confirmed cases. That number right now is 71, so it's looking like just about 10% of individuals that are hospitalized as a result of COVID-19 do succumb to the illness. So again, that is why we continue to work hard to keep our residents healthy and home and out of the hospital, okay? Because we do not want to see that 10% be any of our Windsor family. Okay, so we have a good size agenda tonight. Some of it is just recapping things from prior days, but we do have a few new items to talk about. So I think we'll start there with our new items. So as you know, for the last several weeks, we have been delivering meals to the village residents in their apartments. Up until this point, club residents have been coming down for a full service buffet offered by the staff. At this point, because of the significant growth in cases both in Florida and in the country as a whole, we have decided that we are moving to full room service protocol for the villages and the club residents. So for the club, starting tomorrow morning, that will be Tuesday morning, we will be going to 3 room service meals per day. I know Tristan was assisting residents tonight that came down for dinner to get your orders. As we move forward, how it will work is you will be getting a menu at breakfast time for the following day. We'll give you that menu at breakfast. We'll pick it up at dinner, and then we'll be able to serve those items on that following day. So please anticipate tomorrow at breakfast getting the menus for Wednesday dinner time. We will pick those Wednesday menus up, serve you those items that following day, and so on and so forth. So we've tried to make the menu process as easy as possible where residents can select what they'd like. We even have a note on there if you're gluten-free or vegetarian or you have another allergy or preference that we need to accommodate. So please bear with us as we work through that process and work out any kinks. We do have the 6 floors to deliver to, and we're trying to do that within the hour-and-a-half time frame that we offered meal service previously, which is noted on your week at a glance menu, as well as it is noted on your daily menus as we go forward. So again, beginning tomorrow at breakfast, Tuesday, club residents will join village residents in full room service protocol. Okay, and again, we are doing this to further decrease the interactions in the community. Every time a resident goes up and down the elevator, etc., there is a chance for potential exposure. Because remember, while we've been doing this collectively as a community since roughly the 13th of March, we still have had a lot of residents that have been outside the community in that time frame, and we do still have staff members that are going to and from the community as well on a daily basis. So that means we still have risk of exposure in the community, and we are trying to be extremely diligent in reducing the risk of exposure to all of our residents. Again, and it all gets back to that 10% of individuals hospitalized with COVID-19 complications will not survive the illness. And again, that number is odds that I am not interested in playing. We need all of our residents here with us and want to make sure that we're doing our part to keep you safe, even if it is a little bit uncomfortable and boring and all of that. It is what we need to do right now. Okay, so that is going to be how we are going to be dealing with meal service going forward. In terms of food, hot topic, we also kicked off the Windsor grocery program today, and that is for both residents and employees. This is in an effort to reduce, again, the number of transactions, human transactions, even outside of the community. As we know, COVID-19 can live on surfaces, it can live on bags, it can live on boxes, etc., for a period of time. So it is possible that there is transmission exposure even when Instacart comes or Shipt comes. Now, of course, it's lower than you going out yourself, which is great, but it's still there. We know we can further decrease that risk of exposure by bulk shipping or bulk buying through Cisco and offering groceries to you that we can sterilize, clean, deliver to you. Again, it reduces the amount of touches that that product has getting to you, and we think that's important. We want you to have your snacks and the things that you're used to. Now, granted, the list that we've provided, while I think it's pretty comprehensive, I ordered a few things. Looking forward to it. We don't need everything, right? We still have 3 meals a day available. You still have kitchens that are probably relatively stocked, okay? But we do have the coffee creamer and a couple different kinds of milk and yogurt and bread and the things that people are accustomed to having on hand in their apartment, as well as lots of cookies and chips and snacks and things, but also some fruit, etc. But again, that list isn't going to be all encompassing. You know, we've got 150, 160 people that live at Windsor, and I bet there are, if you ask those people what their favorite yogurt was, we'd probably have 15 different answers. Well, obviously, we can't bulk buy 15 different yogurts to sell 2 of each to residents in the community. So we are trying to be good stewards of the residents' money and how we spend that money, especially during such a challenging time. So the grocery list is limited, but I think it's something we can all work with, okay? That said, if you do have suggestions, please make them. We've already added a couple of things for the next round, garbage or trash can liners and things like that. So please don't hesitate to make the suggestion. I can't promise you we are going to roll it in, you know, like we got a bunch of them today, like goodness, the water bottles you ordered are too big. You know, I like the ones that are a little bit smaller. Okay, well, it is a public health emergency and water is water. So we can drink some of it or pour it in a glass and put it in our fridge for the next, you know, several weeks. We can do that. You know, you're telling me, or you have the 13 ounces of peanut butter, but I only buy the 11 ounces of peanut butter. Well, enjoy those extra 2 ounces, right? So we're going to have to be a little bit flexible. We know everybody has their routines and their brands they like, but we have to bend a little bit during this time. So hopefully, largely, most people think it's a good service, and again, it decreases your need for going out into the community, decreases the need to have Instacart and Ship shoppers here doing hand-to-hand handovers, for lack of a better word, puts Alex and Max, who are largely receiving those orders, at less risk for hand-to-hand contact with different people, and that's what it's all about. It's all about keeping you safe, and it's all about keeping our employees safe. So make suggestions. We'd love to hear them. Can't promise you anything, but we're always willing to listen, okay? So that is the grocery program. First delivery is going to be tomorrow, thanks to Angie, with Marcy's help. And then the follow-up or next delivery this week will be Thursday. Going forward after this week, deliveries will be Monday and Thursday. A little bit more balance, so we're not going from Thursday to Tuesday, which seems quite a bit long, and then just to have a day between the other deliveries. So Mondays and Thursdays after this first week, okay? And we will send out new delivery sheets as we move forward with any updates that we might have. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I just need to remind residents that your apartments, you have access, obviously, to your apartments and access to the outdoors. All other areas of the community, all other common areas are closed, whether it be the fitness center, the pool, the movie theater, the Stetson Lounge, the Savannah Lounge, the salons, etc. All of those areas are closed. Again, there's no gathering at all within the community. We ask residents, if you want to get some exercise, obviously we have the fitness videos every morning at 10 a.m. highly encouraged to do those in the comfort of your own apartment. But if you do want to get out and get a few steps in, please do it outside, out in the Club Lanai area. You can walk right around the front of the building. You don't have to do the full circle, but please do not do the stairs. Please do not do the stairs. That has given me great anxiety that I've heard some people are walking the stairs. Please don't do that. And then I'm hearing people are walking the hallways. Again, we're trying to keep these high touch areas clean. People are in the halls, touching the handrails, just doing laps, heavy breathing, sighing, etc. We really want to keep residents either in your personal homes or out in the fresh air. Okay, so please don't try to utilize any of those common spaces. Please don't do laps in the hallway, and please stay off the stairs. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. There was one thing I wanted to say about that. Let me look at my notes. Please, trash removal. Okay, so club residents are largely taking your own trash bags down to the trash chutes, which has been a normal thing. That's part of what we do, with the exception of what was previously your typical housekeeping day. And we'd had some issues early on, and every now and again with trash disposal. We are full of rubbish. We have so much trash right now because we're all staying home, and I get it, right? And we have all these containers that we're using and people are taking upstairs. So we're gonna have more trash, right? But what we're asking people is to please be mindful when you're disposing of that trash. Please make sure it's in a bag and that bag is tied. We've had this conversation before. We've had some people that might put cat litter down the chute, just cat litter. We've had people put glass down there, not in a bag. And what happens is, the way the trash removal works is we actually have staff that have to go into the trash removal areas, and they have to haul the carts out with the trash. So if there's a staff person in the trash chute room and you throw cat litter down there, or, which is gross enough, but more scary is the idea that somebody might throw glass down there and it shatters and a staff person could be severely injured. So please be mindful when you're using the trash chutes, everything needs to be in a bag. So if glass does go down and it breaks, it shatters within the bag. Okay, so again, please, anything that goes into the trash chutes needs to be put into a garbage bag. So please and thank you for the safety of the staff. Okay, let's see. Just a note, it is that time of the month where residents have received their monthly statements, and usually you'd be coming down to the business office to pay those bills, and I understand that traffic has been a little bit lighter lately and Kathy has not received monthly payments. So if folks would be so kind, if you're headed outside, you're welcome to put it into one of the wall chutes by the business office or over outside the village mailroom, or you are welcome to call Kathy or the concierge and let her know that, or let them know that you would like to have your monthly payment picked up, and someone will pick that up for you. As much as we would like to not do that this month, we still want to keep the lights on and keep the food coming and keep the Windsor world running. So we do need you to go ahead and submit your monthly payments. So thank you for that. Kathy appreciates it, as do I and your neighbors. So thank you. All right, in terms of outdoor areas, residents are doing a much better job of not gathering in outdoor areas. Right now, I'm really asking that residents stay. There should be no gathering. Everyone that's outside should always be at least 6 feet apart. But I'm really trying to keep it to 4 people or less in any outdoor area at a time. You know, the village, all of the residents that were coming out in the village all wanted to sit under the portico share. And so it would be like 8 or 10 people out there and maybe you were 6 feet apart, maybe you weren't, but it was too close for comfort. So we needed to spread that out a little bit, and we needed to decrease the number. So thank you to the residents who are paying attention to that, who saw some of the signs we put outside and are heeding that request. We really, really appreciate it. So thank you for that. So Club Lanai, Village, Porticashare, Club Porticashare, 4 or less at a time in each of those areas, making sure that we're at least 6 feet apart, okay? Making sure that we're keeping that safe distancing from each other. So let's see. I'm sorry, I'm just taking my notes here. Okay, one thing I do want to clarify for residents is I got a couple questions today, or Shelby got a couple questions at dinner tonight, which is, you know, you're closing down the independent living dining, come down for dinner. Is it because we have a case? Well, we do not. We do not have any confirmed cases of COVID-19 at this time. But again, with the significant growth that we're seeing in hotspots within Florida, we are very concerned that it will come. And when it does come, or if it does come, we want to know that we've done everything we can at that time to eliminate, or not to eliminate, I wish we could, but to reduce the risk of transmission from staff to residents, residents to residents, residents to staff, staff to staff, etc. We want to do everything we can. So with those numbers climbing and knowing the number of employees we have living out in the community, we're hearing, you know, of some hot spots in Point Siena. Obviously, Orange County is having a lot of cases. We see that number increasing, and we see the probability of having a case increases. So we just felt this is the right time to do it. We held on as long as we could, but now's the time to make that change. So no cases to date. And we're holding to that and trying to keep it that way. But we need to assume the worst and plan for the worst, okay? So that means, what do we do to reduce the number of potentially affected people and contain those affected individuals? And this is a big part of doing that, okay? One other thing, we are seeing a huge change in the communication that's coming from residents in terms of, I have this delivery coming and it's outside of this time, or I have an emergency vet appointment, can I still do it? I have an appointment at the VA, should I still go? My dog needs grooming. A lot of different conversations that have occurred, which is wonderful. So please keep that coming. Please keep asking the question. We will give you our honest opinion and try to direct you the best way possible. We're really saying, okay, if it's unavoidable or essential, let's figure out how to do it. If it can wait a month or two, let's make that happen. And don't forget, if you have a doctor's appointment and maybe it's not essential, call. There are a lot of other options that physicians' offices are using, like telehealth or conference calling. So give a call to your physician if you have an appointment coming up. One thing we are going to be doing, though, because we do still have people going out to even essential appointments. We have a new move-in coming in, and it's not a new move-in. The individuals have actually had possession of their apartment for a couple of months, and it's time for them to come in. They've self-quarantined at home to make sure they're safe to come into the community, so we need to get them in. We still have some people going out for essential appointments, whether it's a chemo appointment or an infusion appointment, something they can't miss, or maybe somebody's going out and it's not essential, which is still happening. We still have people that are interacting with people where it's not necessary. So we want to make sure that we're addressing those situations in the most proactive way possible. So for the last probably, gosh, week to 10 days, I would say, in the villages and the neighborhood, so in assisted living memory care, we have been screening every resident once a day for temperature and oxygen saturation to make sure that there's no signs or symptoms of any COVID-19 activity. Okay, great. We have not been doing that in the club side. Okay, a lot of residents have been self-monitoring. That's terrific. But what we've decided to do, because we do have a new move-in coming, we do still have a few people coming out, and we're really getting more concerned about transmission numbers out in the community. So what we're going to be doing is Linda and I work together, and we're putting in place a wellness, we're calling it wellness tracking of COVID-19. So what we're going to be doing is any new move-ins that might happen, which will be very few during this period of time. And anyone that goes out for an appointment, or anyone that leaves the community, and these are club residents because of course we're doing this on the village and neighborhood side of the community. We will be doing a 14-day wellness check where Linda or a representative of Windsor, maybe myself, maybe David, CC, who knows, any of us might pop up to your apartment. We're just going to check and see how that individual is doing. We're going to do a temperature, and we're just going to see if there's any other signs and symptoms of any COVID-19 activity, any upper respiratory distress, etc. We're going to do that for 14 days, or if there is any potential signs and symptoms, we will do it for 14 days from the last incidence, signs and symptoms of potential upper respiratory issues were noted, or 14 days from any temperature that has exceeded 100.4. So we're going to do that with all individuals that go out from the community, whether essential or non-essential, and any new move-ins to the community. Again, just to reduce our risk of any transmission in the community. Okay, so we're really working hard to cover all of our bases to keep the community safe. We continue to appreciate your help and your cooperation, and very largely your kind words and your humor in how we're getting through all of this. It definitely shows the character of this Windsor community that is still rather young in our community life. Really goes to show what kind of community we have. We have some grit. We have some really wonderful residents and some very dedicated staff, and it's really been largely something I'm very proud of. I know we have a ways to go, and this challenge is kind of just beginning, but I'm very pleased with collectively the way that we have handled these challenges and these restrictions as a community unit. So thank you for everyone. We do still have the hand delivery restriction of 9 to 11. So please be mindful of that. If you are going to still need to use a Shipt shopper or an Instacart shopper, which again, we're discouraging, but it is still 10 times better than you going out to the store. Please make sure that delivery is between 9 and 11. Okay, and we will make sure that Max and Alex are wearing the appropriate protective equipment so that they can stay safe and make sure they get your delivery to you timely and in a healthy way. So I'm going to do what I always do, which is just take a last minute and refer to my notes real quickly. Let's see. I think that is about it. Just a last little plug for Life Enrichment. Don't forget Angie's evening update, 7 o'clock each night with a rerun at 9 o'clock each morning. Fitness at 10 o'clock, get that blood flowing. Followed by every day at noon, we have an educational session, whether it is cryptocurrency, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or creative writing Tuesday or Thursday. There's a lot of great content going on. Channel 2501, trying to keep you connected, trying to keep you busy. Don't forget the 8 o'clock fireworks show. We're looking forward to Friday night's broadcast of Disneyland Paris fireworks. So enjoy that. Enjoy your evening. And we will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Good night.